All right. We are episode 32,
All right.
right?
Yeah.
Feeling good about ourselves. Episode 32. And today we have my friend Tony Moser, who is a filmmaker, comedian, and from my hometown, Kennewick, Washington.
Nice.
So I'm excited to talk to him. And he's got a documentary that he is working on. I believe it's almost complete, and he has a Kickstarter going for it. So we'll talk more about that. And the documentary is based around the punk rock scene that came out of the Tri-Cities. So I'm kind of excited to ask him more about that,
Yeah, it sounds really cool.
considering I grew up there.
I took a quick look at it, so I'm interested to. Can't wait to hear more about it.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. So episode 32, welcome one, welcome all.
All right.
Welcome, everyone, to the Between You and I podcast. This is episode 32. And we have my friend Tony Moser on. And we were just talking about all the things you do. But we were super excited, too, to talk about your documentary that you're doing.
Yes.
Called the All Ages Doc, right? About the Tri-Cities punk rock scene.
All Ages
And
Show.
so-
Yeah.
All Ages Show.
All Ages
Okay.
Show. But
We
the
should get it right.
website is allagesdoc.com because All Ages Show is already taken.
Oh, got it. Oh, got
Yeah.
it. Got it. Well, I like them both. That's really
Yeah.
good.
So we'll go with both of them.
We'll go with both of them. But you know what? I also know, have you done a stint in comedy as well?
Yeah,
Or
I did stand
continue
up
to?
for about 10, 12 years. I don't do it anymore. It kind of last time I did it was about 3 years ago. I hosted and I don't know. I did well like one night, but I still just kind of the passion for it was kind of gone. I kind of
There you go.
did it and I kind of bore myself when I start telling my jokes. So
Those are the best.
Well, that's no
jokes.
good.
Yeah.
that's no good. Yeah.
That's no good. Also, because I think that genre of art is really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how. I'm fascinated by comedy. I would never do it, but just the way you have to perfect your art form by getting up and bombing, like just as a regular,
Yeah.
just to work out material. I was like, oh, that's rough, man.
Well, there's different
don't-
levels of bombing. There's, you're first starting out and you might get a couple laughs and that's not bombing at that point. But then there's other times where you're on the road and like Tuesday, you'll just kill it. And you're like, I could do this forever. Wednesday,
Wow.
the exact same show, same jokes, and just bomb terribly. And you're like, what am I doing with my life? Like, this is awful. And then the next night you do well again, then you forget about the bad show. So sometimes it's you, sometimes it's the crowd. And there's times where I played a show in Montana where I was doing pretty well. And I did horrible that night. I thought, okay, I must be having an off night. And the headliner, this was 2006. The headliner's opening joke was he was doing an impression of Forrest Pimp. And it was a Forrest Gump impression 20 some years later and killed.
Oh, geez.
Like just destroyed the room. Yeah. So I didn't feel so bad after that.
I mean,
Well, there you go.
That's interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you survive that. Well, it feels a little bit like being in a band
Yeah.
because you're like, wow, I'm huge in my neighborhood. And then I go outside and there's either no one's there or it's
Right.
crickets or it doesn't matter. It just doesn't seem to matter and no one's responding, right? Like that's just
Mhm.
brutal all the way around. But you're up there alone.
Yeah,
You're not in a
forget
band.
about it because I'm sure it's the same with like music where you're up there and you might see like the first row or two, but other than that, it's just black.
Mm,
And
Right.
it's bizarre because stand-up comedians and musicians, and I'm also friends with ex-professional wrestlers. It's all the same story, the
Ooh.
stage's different, but everything else is the exact same story, So it's pretty fascinating. Just that life on the road gig is,
Yeah.
is it's the same heartbreak and going to jail
God.
and disappointing your parents, the usual stuff.
A good time. is what you're
all the
saying, yeah.
things you signed
Yeah,
up
good
for.
time. Yeah.
All the things you love. Yeah. No,
Mhm.
I don't know how people do it. That would be a very lonely to me. I feel like it takes a certain breed. You know what I mean? Someone who
Right.
can lock in like to just have whatever in order to persevere through that.
Right. Well, a lot of times too, you
I
have
don't.
to
Yeah.
if you're the opener, you have to do 30 minutes. If you're the headliner, 45 to an hour. And if you don't do that time, you don't get paid sometimes. And so on these road
Wow.
gigs, you're basically paying almost to do these shows because you're not making any money. So you need that money for gas to get to the next show. So you could be just
Oh my
like
gosh.
one show in Montana at the Sawbuck Saloon, gorgeous place.
Yeah.
I was just bombing for like 30 minutes, but I just had to I was just on autopilot at that point, you know. I was so bad that people bought me beers because they felt bad for me.
Oh, well, that's nice.
That's nice. So at least I got
Oh
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know it's rough too when you're trying to make the best of the scenario. Like, well, I totally bombed. That was awful, soul crushing. But somebody bought me a beer. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I can
Yay.
relate to that. Like, oh,
Mhm.
totally drove all the way across the country, played to the sound guy. But we got a good meal out of it. We had some crab.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I got a sandwich out of the deal. So we're good.
Yeah.
You know.
But even like that's exhausting. Just trying to shoot for like the silver lining. Like
Right.
that's I don't know. That's a commitment. I can relate. At least through music, having somewhat similar perseverance stories, or just I don't know. Just sometimes it's really hard. So
Well, like in LA,
And-
a friend of mine was like, "You want to play a coffee shop?" I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome." So went to this coffee shop, and we're outside waiting, and they have caution tape in the parking lot, like around the parking spots. And I'm like, "What happened?" He's like, "No, this is where we're playing our show." So it's on the
oh my
sidewalk,
God.
and there's like ambulances going by, and then there's some homeless guy in front of me, which I don't know where he's from because he's heckling me in some language. And
Yes.
so it's just like I think that was kind of the start of the end of like, you know, I'm not trying to prove anything anymore. I got to LA.
Right.
That was my main focus for doing stand up was to get to LA. So
You did it.
I did it.
You did it. You tried it. You were there.
Yep.
You got the
It's all
precaution
good.
Well,
tape?
and then
Yeah.
free caution tape.
Yeah.
I say bravo to you.
Yeah.
Well, then you've made a pivot though. You and I've worked together because you've done videos for my music, which I love. Want to do more, which I think will be really fun. But you also now are getting into a documentary. But how long have you been? Well, I guess I should back up. When did you decide, like, oh, maybe I'll try film, or I like film, and I'm going to head in this direction? Like, what's your background story?
That was my first thing I ever wanted to do since a kid. I wanted to direct movies.
Oh,
And that's why I got into stand-up, because someone told me, is like, well, get into stand-up because you can meet some comics and somehow work your way down to LA. And so that's what I did. I was just going to be a writer for comics, but after I got into stand-up, I'm like, that'd be a horrible idea because everybody kind of writes their own stuff. But yeah, I got down there, and then I got a job as a video editor, assistant editor, and then video editor for behind the scenes on movies, so like DVDs, especially.
Okay.
Oh,
Features.
that's cool.
And
Yeah.
so I was laid off from a print job for about a year, and a friend of mine's like, "Hey, this assistant editing job's opening. It pays this much money. It's on this system called Avid, which I'd never used before." And he's like, "Can you do it?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And so I just kind of dove head first into it, and
Yeah.
I was
I've used
awful
Avid,
at
so
first.
thankfully the learning curve's
Yeah.
really shallow. It's easy to just pick up all the
Yeah, exactly.
key commands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, just dove into that, and I really liked editing. That's what I'm doing now. And while I was down in LA is when I came up with this idea for the music documentary.
Nice. Yeah. Well, tell us all about that. I mean, I've talked to you about it, but yeah, give us the whole background on the documentary.
It
It's
kind
really
of
cool.
started actually when I was down in LA. I saw you did something. I can't remember what it was, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that she's from Tri-Cities." And then I saw a poster because there's a website out there with all the flyers from back in the day, and one of them is it says Scream and Diddley Squat. And Scream is Dave Grohl's old band, and Diddley Squat, you know, Nate from Foo Fighters and Your Brothers was Diddley Squat. And they played a show together in like some crappy warehouse in Richland or whatever in like '87. And I just thought that was so cool that just two of the Foo Fighters played this show back in the day. Nobody had any idea what this, come about. And then there's like, well, Carrie's from Tri-Cities. I was like, oh yeah, then they're small. Then the more I dove into it, like there's so much amazing musicians that come out of Tri-Cities.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just had that in the back of my head, because eventually I wanted to move back to Washington State. And so I was like, well, when I get back, I'll work on that. I'm sure I can get Carrie to I can interview Carrie, and then track down somehow all these old guys from our scene. And so anyway, I finally got back to Tri-Cities, and I always like to have a big project every year just so I don't get bored. And so I decided to do this, and I didn't think anybody was interested in it, but everybody's been interested. So basically it's early 90s music scene in Tri-Cities was just happening while Seattle was kind of exploding. Eastern Washington was exploding too in its own scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to know, how did we get to that? Like, what came before our scene in the 90s? What came after? And then what it kind of morphed into is, like, with the internet and everything so saturated, anybody can get on YouTube, Spotify, whatever. Everything's so saturated. Will there ever be a scene again anywhere?
Yeah.
Because it's so like short attention span theater, where it's
right.
Everybody's just next. They won't listen to a whole album. They'll listen to half a song and then move on to the next one. And so that's kind of the basic rundown of the documentary.
Interesting.
Well, there's so much about a scene that is about being together, like bands or people. Like, it's a group when you're in a scene. I was thinking about not only the Tri-Cities but Seattle. Those days, I was like, well, you were all in it together, and you were doing things together, putting things like shows, together, and asking each other to play. And the Tri-Cities being Eastern Washington State is similar in that there isn't, it didn't have an infrastructure there, right? Like, it's a pretty conservative, the east side of the state's red. Maybe not yourself, but pretty red and conservative. And Tri-Cities wasn't that big. At least when I was growing up there, it was like 35,000 each city. Right now it's crazy big,
like
right?
300,000 or something like that.
Yeah. So you had to be really scrappy. It just reminds me of a lot of like the like the punk rock movies, like Suburbia and Repo Man, you know what I mean? Like, just disenfranchised kids from the burbs who are pissed and bored. And I feel like there's quite a bit of that going on in the Tri-Cities. Understandably, like, it makes sense if you're creative, or if you just want anything more and it's not there, or it's anti, somebody's going to start creating something somewhere. Like, it's the match that, gets lit.
Just like in
and
Footloose.
I feel like that the Tri-Cities had that.
Yeah.
Just like Footloose.
Yeah, exactly like Footloose. I actually was going to
dancing
call it
was forbidden.
Too. Yeah.
But there might be some issues. Somebody might take issue with you.
Yeah, my lawyers aren't that great. But yeah, like, I would hear stories of like, I don't know if you know Sean Hayter, but he would talk about when he had like a skater haircut, like barely a skater haircut, and he would get beat up randomly by just somebody pulling over by jocks. And you look different. I'm going to beat you up now. That's how it kind of was.
Yeah. Well, I remember, so in Kennewick, it was like, Mike, my brother, but even like in high school, it was like Tony Ross, Phil Sayre, like there was a few people in my age who also were just skaters, punks, or whatever. And you're right, like, you could just look like a surfer kid, and there would be like the specific policeman. We had a policeman at the high school, like a narc, right? Like, who would then moonlight on the weekend, or I don't know, I shouldn't know the story, but Manny would have it out for those guys, like. And I remember an evening where I was with a couple of them, got pulled over, and all he wanted was the guys. Like, get out of the car, you're free to go. It was really creepy. And I don't know if they were just like, I was trying to think of like, what exactly crime did these kids do other than tearing up golf courses?
Right. Well, there was stories, I think your brother told me, where they would get beat up by jocks, and the police would come and they'd let the jocks go, and then they'd give like your brother and that group a hard time, because the kid that was the jock, his dad was like the sheriff or whatever. It was that kind of time.
Right. Oh yeah. It definitely felt like that. It's, what I find interesting is what you said, like, fascinating who's come out of that town
Mhm.
but also just other people have just either spent time there and Seattle, like Mario Diaz, who is much more new wave or goth at the time. But I remember him and his family would be in the Tri-Cities. I remember going to some high school dance and he would be full like Robert Smith hair, a skirt, nails. And he and myself and my friend Jana kind of all liked the similar style. And I remember they all came over to my house. It was the only time I ever saw my mom go be like, oh my, what the hell? Like, but going to the dance and yeah, having friends that I've grown up with who were
Right.
jocks, like threatening to beat up a friend. And it just felt, that too also felt like boredom.
Right.
It made no sense to me. I'm like, why? Like, do you actually have nothing better to do? Because I knew these guys and I was like, do you have nothing better to do? And I was like, oh, I don't think you do actually. So
Yeah.
you're bored and you're taking it in the wrong direction.
Right.
But
Well, it's because we didn't have
there was
internet
definitely
back then.
Exactly. Not all the distractions. So you gotta take it out on
Like for
everybody.
all the
fun as a kid,
distractions.
we used to hide in the ditch during the winter and make snowballs and throw my cars.
Mhm.
You know, like
What?
nowadays, if someone did that to me, I'd be so mad.
Oh, I remember being
And you'd get them
being
on your phone and
chased
film them.
for doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what is your favorite part? You know, what have you loved about making the documentary? Do you have any favorite like interviews or part of it?
Yeah, it's yeah, there's I love that it started off as this and it's become
Mhm.
this, you know, where
Yeah.
it's a lot bigger than I planned it to be. Like I just
yeah.
wanted it to be story A, B, and C, and now there's like story T and W, all these other things that you don't even think about that can relate to anybody, not just Tri-Cities people, which is my main thing. But it's cool to get to know the bands and also to interview younger either like bands or hip hop artists or whatever that we have here. It's just cool to see that great musicians are still being produced here for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You know, but I love hearing the stories that I didn't know anything about Diddley Squat before interviewing. I knew the poster, but hearing how basically they kind of were the spark to let's do our own shows, let's write our own songs.
Mhm.
Because before that was like cover bands, and what kind of ruined them was the karaoke came in. That's a whole other
Yes.
thing I
Oh
want
my
to
God.
get into for something else.
Yes.
That could be the next documentary, maybe. Yeah.
I think that'd be the next documentary. 'Cause it was pretty fascinating to hear, like, you know, these bands that was their income, where they'd get paid, let's say $1,000 or something, and then they can hire a karaoke DJ for $100. It's like, why do I need a band when I can? They don't care if the people
Yeah.
sing are good,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know. So that was a cool story because I didn't even know about that, but it was just kind of cool for me because I like nostalgia. So it kind of brought me right back to, you know, the early 90s is when I was in high school. So just remembering what was going on. It's just like music. Like music is like a time machine. Like you hear a certain song, it brings you right back to first time you heard that song and what you're
Yeah.
doing. You know, like I remember a guy at work was playing Van Halen's 5150. And just in a split second, it brought me right back to cruising down Clearwater with my stepsister, and I had my Walkman on, and we were going to 7-Eleven to get nachos. You know, it was just really cool. So, yeah, to answer your question, I don't know. There's so many like cool things where there's so much stuff I'm gonna have to cut out just because I need to cut it down to like an hour and a half, and I have like 20 hours worth of stuff. So,
Wow.
but I don't want to lose all the other stuff, so I'm gonna turn those into little web series. You know, like just the spotlight on the hip hop in Tri-Cities from our era to now, because I didn't know there was a hip hop scene in the early 90s, but there was. No.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Like
So,
all that,
yeah.
at least getting all that information out there so we can all, you know, take it. And
Right.
review it.
And the other thing I wanted to, and you kind of mentioned it before, of having more women, which I never didn't even cross my mind the second trailer. And it wasn't like a gender thing. It was just like, just trying to find sound bites. And then someone else mentioned that too. I was like, man, I didn't even think about that. So it'd be cool to find more of that, of like just a web series of just, you know, women in that era and now, like, because there's not a lot of it still for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's other things like, you know, other art pieces like fanzines, you know,
Right.
like you know, in the 83, 84, like that was what my friends were into, is creating their own fanzines. And what what I really love about your documentary and things like this is it's just such a great reminder and example of a time that was very DIY, right? Like, and
Mhm.
that you could within your own grasp, like make your own stuff and it felt special. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like and it felt like it was capable of creating something or connecting people, um, helping people feel a part of something on a closer to you scale, right? Like
Mhm.
now, like we're saying with the internet and everything, it's like there's so much stuff out there. Yes, we can connect in 18 million different ways, but there's something very different about a small, cozy scene,
Mhm.
with tools that make you feel empowered, not drowning.
Right.
Right. Like we may have the internet and all these abilities to like record video, have a channel, all this kind of stuff, but it still kind of feels like you're drowning and insignificant no matter how much you
Right.
create. Right. Which is just a
Right.
terrible feeling.
Mhm.
So I really appreciate like these examples of that time period where people could empower themselves to create something that then deeply meant something to other people in terms of like, look what we made, look at what we created,
Mhm.
look what that then did for the rest, a bunch of our friends. And you can feel like you are closer to your own work,
Right.
which is just a good feeling.
Well, the other cool thing, I agree, is the differences. Like back in our day, we'd pass out flyers, and now they kind of do that, but it's all social media. And if you just walk up to people
Right.
and give them flyers, or they'd be like, "What is this? Why are you giving me this
Right.
piece of paper?" You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the one cool thing that's stayed the same is no matter what a person is in high school or outside of the show, be the weirdest goth kid or whatever, wear a dress, doesn't matter. Inside the show, everybody's safe. It's like a safe
Yes.
place, and you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, which is
Mhm.
cool. And it's funny to hear some people was like, "Yeah, we'd have jocks come in, be totally cool at the show, and then beat me up on Monday morning at school." But at the
Yeah.
show, they were cool. So it was always, to this day, is still a safe place for everybody. You know.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that even with some of the basement concerts I went to back in that time period, and like you'd go and there'd just be
Right.
this huge mix of people that normally would not get
Right.
along, but everybody's there for the music and the beer, and everybody
Right.
for that
Right.
moment we're all together.
Right. Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's something that's cool. That's stayed consistent. You know.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I mean, I don't appreciate the lack of courage outside of the room, but
No, no.
For
I'd
sure.
rather people didn't get beat up on Monday, but it
Yeah.
just shows how powerful, I guess, music and the music scene is when you can, the kid you thought was some weirdo, whatever,
Mhm.
because he wears, I don't know, nail polish because he wants to.
Mhm.
On Saturday, it's okay because you're focusing on Monday or focusing on the show, But
Yeah. 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 Well, it's interesting how it will, like you said, create a safe place for someone to open up their mind, right?
Mhm.
Or isn't it great that it's a place someone feels there won't be judgment, right?
Right.
And how much people need that, really, if they really, really will say it and be truthful. It's like everyone should live in spaces where you're not being judged,
Right.
and allowed to completely be yourself, whatever that may be, and
Right.
that's okay. I mean, I guess I find it sad that then outside of that, our culture in some areas is not promoting that, right?
Right.
In a lot of areas. And so it's just sad.
What was cool is, and I don't know if this was the way it is when we were in high school, but I remember there was this unwritten rule. Like I was always into metal, rock and metal, and because of that, you couldn't listen to hip hop for whatever reason. It was just a rule.
Oh,
Even though we all bought the Chronic, we all like secretly liked these. Like my wife and I go on our road trips. She's not going to listen to Slayer, of course, but so we compromise. And my guilty pleasure is like 90s hip hop or like late 80s, early 90s hip hop and pop, like Roxette or something.
uh,
But I saw one kid I interviewed who's in a band, like a rock band now. He's sporting an Ice Cube shirt. So like it's cool that rule, whatever it is gone. Where it's okay
Yeah.
to like Slayer and Lady Gaga if you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
oh, right.
Yeah, it's cool to like be able to
Yeah.
mix all
Back
those
in our day, you
genres.
couldn't say.
Yeah.
Right.
That's amazing, though, that at that time that people would hold such a rule so strictly on themselves.
Right.
You know, it's so much about being a part of a tribe, and you don't step outside of the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people, you know, and folks need for safety, right? Emotional
Right.
safety, like so that you. I'm fascinated by that stuff. I'm just fascinated by groupthink and
For sure. I remember
things like that.
back in the early 90s, I loved metal. I was in a lot of the bands, but I also liked
Mhm.
classical guitar, and I was always scared to tell any of
Mhm.
my friends that I like classical guitar.
Right.
Until I met a guitarist friend, and we both hit it off. It's like, oh,
Right.
you like this guy? You like Michael Hedges too? And we were all, it's like, this is great. It's like,
Right.
we like all the same
Well,
weird bands.
like it wasn't so much like I was afraid to get beat up. Like you don't want to be back then. You don't want to be called a poser. Like, oh, you don't really like metal.
Oh,
You bought the new Dr. Dre, or
Yeah.
and like everybody had the Michael Jackson's Thriller. I know Michael Jackson's not a favorite right now because of stuff coming out, but
his
everybody,
music's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, everybody had Thriller, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, isn't it funny? And so I don't know, like I can't tell if it's Tri-Cities or any small town too, where why would you have that limit on someone? Why would music be such a threat if you decided you
know.
liked another type of music? You know, like to me that reminds me of, and I'm just going to say Tri-Cities because that's where I grew up,
Right.
but like I remember like unnecessary rules, you know, like unnecessary small rules, you know, that were just fear-based. Like it never made sense to me.
Mhm.
Like, who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares? Why is this supposed to define me so hard? Like, what?
Right.
What's going to
Like,
happen if I like
does this
hip hop?
make you a horrible person now because you're mixing genres?
Or do you think all hell's going to break loose if somebody likes more than one kind of music? Or to me, I feel like it forces people in a circle to have to think, right?
Mhm.
Like, and maybe that makes people really nervous. Like, if you go out on a limb, then I'm going to have to go out on a limb, and I'm emotionally not prepared to do that, right?
Right.
Like, people who get afraid, they'll lock down fast.
Mhm.
I sort of think about those things too. It's like when someone does something outside of the circle, you know, people's angry reaction is more about like the fact that they don't want to be challenged because they're like, I'm not capable of
Right.
being ready to change yet. And you're starting to F with that.
I think it's a fear of failing too. Like they haven't failed enough. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that stand up taught me is once you fail in front of like 200 or 300 people and you have to stay there failing or you don't get paid. Like
Oh my God.
failing is a wonderful thing, I think. So
Oh yeah, it's a good skill. for
Tony,
sure.
that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. That you should call that your superpower. Because
Yeah,
I mean, and all jokes aside, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, but you're so right. Like getting used to failing because your art form was
Right.
going to probably have some of it going on that's an amazing thought.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like getting used to it because you're still here. You survived. Right.
Yeah,
So,
it can be. That's why like especially with this documentary, like asking people to do stuff, and I asked Nate if he would do it, and my thought was like worst case scenario he just says no. Like I've been told no lots of times, didn't wreck me, so
yeah.
just ask.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed what people will say when you ask.
Oh yeah.
Right. Right. Exactly. And look at you. Now you have
Mhm.
like this full documentary. I think it's
And
amazing.
I have 2 guitars behind me, so
Yeah.
I'm too guitar rich.
Now, why have you always had those guitars, or is it you
No,
got
this-
those cuz?
This is my office, because we just moved into our new house. This
Uh-huh.
is my office, and we still got to paint in here, and I'm just trying to make things so I did one Zoom call interview about 3 weeks ago, and I just had crap everywhere, and I didn't realize how terrible it looked. But I put those up a couple days
So
ago.
the
but yeah.
the blur filter is helpful here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mind this stuff.
Don't mind the mess over the
But now,
That's not
Tony, when you interview, they're like, "Oh man, he plays music. That's
Yeah,
fascinating.
man.
Look at him.
What can't he do?
What can he do?" Oh my God. Well, you got me thinking too about growing up in the Tri-Cities in the
Mhm.
high school. So I graduated in '85, and the group I hung out with, I mean, I often drifted through people, different kinds
Mhm.
of people, because I'm very curious about people. So I might hang out with people who are just into metal for a little while and then hang
Right.
out over here. But a core group of people we all had similarly loved like new wave, punk rock or new wave. And that seemed to cross because new wave can head into pop at the time,
Right.
real easy. It seemed to have a wider spread a bit than other things, you know what I mean? And so, but I really enjoyed at that time, again, such a special time without the internet,
Right.
of discovering music. Like my stepsister Kaya was a DJ at Washington State University, and she would send me, and this is just dating me all over the place. She would send me mixtapes, like cassettes of new music. So it would have like Oingo Boingo on it, or Missing Persons, or In Excess at the time, very new. And just the fun of discovering new music. And, MTV played a huge also access role in all of that. But just getting to have that specialness moment, like I really am grateful that I got to come up with music and have discovery that felt special. I really appreciate that. But, and now there's so much out there, I don't know. I know people get that and they make their own, they have their own favorite spots and artists and things like that. But I just really appreciate that time.
I just wonder if, cause I remember the first time I heard Poison and first time I heard Def Leppard, and they were introduced to me by two different people. The first one was some kid that lived next to my dad in his condo in Wenatchee. But the second was a friend of mine lived across the street. And he's like, "Hey, have you seen this band Poison?" So he gives me a tape. I'm like, "These chicks look like dudes." And he's like, "No, those are guys." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then we listened to it. I was like, "Oh, that's," because I had two older stepsisters that loved like Motley Crue and Ozzy and all that kind of stuff. So I was right in that butt rock metal mix at a young age. Like my first record was Kiss Alive 2. And so I just wanted to be Gene Simmons when I was like 5, So I was right in that mix. But
you could still be him, Tony. Don't worry.
I could. Yeah. I was Richard Gene Simmons for Halloween a couple years ago. So.
Oh, that's so formal. I really love that.
Yeah, it's nice. But I don't know, like today, do kids have somebody that, like, you go to your friend's house, like, oh, you got to check out this band, or do they already know that? Because the internet, you can just, which is a good thing, you can find new music that you're not going to hear on the radio or whatever. It's like a, I don't know, double-edged sword.
I think it's easier to share, because at least that's been my experience, like with my daughter, although she's old now. But like at the time, just like being able to say, like, here's a YouTube video of this musician, check it out. You're like, okay, cool, I'll watch it. I'm sure they were doing that with their friends too. Now it's just, you can send somebody a Spotify playlist. You don't even, like, here, everybody check out this cool stuff.
Right. Yeah. I don't think sharing has ended in any fashion. No. Oh my God. When you said Def Leppard, though, I would say there's definitely 5 bands that are just my Tri-Cities memories too. Like there's like this side, and then there's like new wave, and there's Def Leppard, Scorpions, Van Halen, AC/DC, and who else? Who am I missing?
Probably
there's
like
one
White
more.
Snake had to be. Maybe
Autograph. No, Rail. Maybe Rail.
Rails,
because they were local, man.
Yeah.
But like literally, that's what I grew up on. Is any Kager had those that music going on, or the boat races, or what have you. And then and so just again, like a town like that breeds for some people a real drive to find something else, something new. I mean, you have an adventurer's mind, or you don't. You know what I mean? Like, and not just respecting anybody else's lifestyle at all, but like, I mean, I just was born someone who's like, I knew I was like, oh yeah, one day I'm out, like, because I just want to see the world. I'm fascinated. I'm curious. That's just what I want to do. But I know plenty of people who've stayed and raised families there and are super happy, and they have wonderful lives. So
I guess it just depends what your passion is. Like I always felt like I just wanted to I want to hurry up and get out of high school and kind of, I don't know what it is, what it was yet, but I need to find something, and this isn't it. And so I was just trying 100 different things, and again, failing at all of them. And
like a champ,
best way to learn.
Broke all the time, I tried to sell my jeans once in Seattle because I was broke and was starving, and they wouldn't take them.
What?
Yeah, they wouldn't take my jeans. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
And were you
wearing what kind of jeans were they?
Just Levi's. They were actually in good shape too. I'm like,
There was
Cool.
wasn't hip enough. It wasn't
No.
it wasn't hipster enough.
No,
Yeah.
it's right on Aurora. But,
Oh, well, that's nice. That's just a lot of things could have gone down there, Tony.
I mean, it's a lovely place.
Aurora is definitely known for its hipness. So
Yeah.
it's too bad.
Well, you could have sold other things on Aurora too,
Yeah,
but
I know. You know, I found that out after.
questionably.
Yeah.
That's still an option, maybe.
That's my plan B.
Well, tell us about the Kickstarter for your documentary.
Yeah, I got approached by this company called Craft Services, which they worked on like the last Blockbuster, and they worked on a couple of their music documentaries, and they specialize in that. And they're asking if I ever wanted to do a Kickstarter, and I don't really know much. I know what Kickstarter is, obviously, but I've never done it. And I thought, well, I think I'm okay. It's like, well, there's actually a lot of things you can do, and you know, you can get merch out to people and this and that, make a cool experience. So we're trying to raise. We passed our goal, but we're trying to get up to 10,000 so we can get a feature made and a band playing, and we have the premiere party catered and all these cool little prizes that are attached to it. So, but I always feel weird asking people. It's like asking your friends for money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Literally,
Hey.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're an artist, so
Right.
Yeah, it's
It's
part
just
of the
like-
job these days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like putting trust that they support, and so far everybody's been really supportive and down for helping out. So
I think that's exciting. Well, and you had mentioned to me that you're going to submit also the film to festivals and things like that.
festivals, and the ultimate goal is I got to figure out how to do it. Is get it on Netflix. Because there used to be a company called Distributor that you pay X amount of money to go to Netflix, iTunes, etc.
Oh.
But that company's not around anymore. And so, but I'm sure there's got to be another company out there that does the same thing. Because with bands, you can pay like CD Baby or TuneCore or whatever.
Right.
You got to, it's basically that for video. But yeah, festivals and, Amazon Prime and trying to get it anywhere I can get it there. So.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to spread the word here too. And if anybody's listening and you have connections, because that's the Northwest is so much about like one person knows somebody and then they know somebody, and that's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why I got all these interviews. Like I only knew like 4 people, and then suddenly it's like, oh, you got to talk to this person. It's like, yeah, that person give me a number of this person,
Right.
So
what's the
maybe
last
the
date?
DIY.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the last date on the Kickstarter?
What's that?
When does the Kickstarter close?
I believe November 4th or 5th, sometime next week.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Pressure's on everybody. Gotta get in there.
Pressure is on, people. Support DIY. Come on, keep everything alive. Yeah. I love it. I mean, I was thinking about the people in the documentary as well. Like, you got to remember, I think my brother was 14.
Right.
Like when Diddley Squat, again, lovely names too. Right. Eric's bands were Diddley Squat and then Christ on a Crutch.
Right. Yeah.
You can't beat that.
No.
You can't beat that. And great players in all of those bands. And so, but yeah, I remember when Eric started learning drums, I think he was 13, and he would practice right below my bedroom every day, starting at 3:30 until our stepdad got home, and then it had to end.
Well, it's really cool because Eric inspired so many people, so many drummers, and in turn, those drummers inspired so many people, and so forth. Yeah. And so, like, it's gone down from Eric to, Isaac from Loudermilk and AWOL Nation, and Isaac, is inspired. Like those, they just played a show, Loudermilk and Ladybird and Dust Moth played, and they had this local band called Wonder Bat open up, which are really great. And they loved Loudermilk, like they were their inspiration, all this kind of stuff. And so like seeing them was like seeing the Stones to them, which is really cool.
Wow. Because
they even covered I think in their set they cover a Loudermilk song. So it's kind of a cool full circle.
Oh, yeah.
Thing,
Well, and I realized too, the Tri-Cities shows are running strong there, like at the Uptown and other places.
Yeah.
I know New Year's Eve, other people are like, it seems like shows are happening quite a bit. Am I wrong?
Yes and no. Like, the Uptown once in a while. Dara over at the Emerald, she does a lot of awesome stuff over there. She puts on like really cool shows. She'll have like metal bands and like jazz and all everything you want over there. So she does a really cool job over there. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of Blaine. He does a lot of metal shows, which is cool. He used to have the Eagles lodge.
Right.
And that was really awesome. And then they decided not to do music anymore, so he moved it to the Tin Hat, and he has awesome metal band shows there. But other than that, there's things here and there, but there's nothing like, you know, the Hoedown or the Fairgrounds or
right.
You know.
Right. I was going to say, oh yeah, Fairgrounds and Hoedown and all of that. I think cities, I mean, even Seattle struggling with, I mean, COVID and all of that, but it was struggling, I feel like, before that, closing down clubs.
Yeah.
You know, it was like there was a certain apex where it was a moneymaker and there were lots of clubs. And when things aren't at the same height, you know, people are like, you know, it's like, oh, there's fewer venues, and the people who are super passionate keep it going. Cause that's hard work. Yeah. That's thankless work. I feel like, to run a venue. It's not easy. Our good friend Pete Greenberg too, who has Latent Print Records, just, you know, talking to him about organizing shows and then running the show and all of that. I mean, he's a huge music lover as well, but it's such a passion project to do. It's such a passion.
It's not a moneymaker.
Yeah.
I've never considered owning a venue, so it's never crossed my mind.
Oh my God, no.
Seems like it could be fun, but no.
But so grateful for people who love music, right? Like who can also evangelize to others or remind them, like, that there is great music happening, or like your documentary, like strong history that people could reconnect to, and just know that, like, hey, a lot of great things have happened here, which means great things could happen again, in my book.
Right. Yeah. Well, two things on that is I think people don't realize how important venues are and shows are, because if you don't have any place for a band to play, music kind of dies. There's not going to be that next Elton John, Beatles, Stones, Prince, whatever. If there's no band to get to they can't play. And there was one band that said that he would be happy if he played a show and he just inspired somebody to play, and that guy blew up into somebody famous, you know?
Right.
So there's so many bands that inspire other bands to play that kind of keep that going. I forgot the second thing I was going to say. I'm sure it's really smart.
Wow. Total fail.
We'll circle back.
Total fail. Fail number 9,020.
Man, that was a good fail.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so good.
So close. So close.
Well, I love, I wasn't doing music during that period. I had gone off to college, so I really didn't start doing music until I was in Seattle. But it was nice to return, like with Hammerbox, and play shows, especially as a female, right? Like coming back, just knowing all the friends I had, you know, like girlfriends and in high school, just to be a female who was leading something. Right. I don't know. I just thought that was important, you know, to come back and be like, well, you could do this. You know what I mean? Like, come do this, jump in there. Just, you know, like you're saying, ask. Right. It's not like I had no experience. Right.
Well, it's always cool to see women singers in rock bands or full rock band that are just all women. And that shouldn't be a thing. Like it should just, you know what I mean?
It should just be a band. Yeah.
Right. It's just a band. Like, you know, the Wilson sisters, you know, it's like, it should be something like that. I don't know. It's like, it's cool. Like, Maybe Days was like the only band in my era that had a female lead singer. And I don't think it's because guys in the scene weren't allowing it. I just don't think anybody wanted to do it. I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but because it seemed like everybody's pretty supportive of everybody. Yeah. So I don't know what the why there isn't more.
Well, I think it's scary to be like, oh, I'm going to go join something and get up in front of people. Right. Right. And so I don't know that women are shyer. I don't believe that's true. No. Shyer than anybody else. But for anyone, it might be daunting. Like secretly you're dancing alone in your room and you love it, but you're never going to do it for real life. Right. You know, you're never really going to get out there and do it, because it is daunting to get up in front of people. Like you were just saying with comedy, or we were originally saying about playing shows and touring. I mean, you're choosing to go throw yourself up in front of people and hope they like you, or that even if you do a good job, that's a very uncontrollable situation. Right. And I don't know how many people choose that.
Yeah. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Right.
Yeah.
Not easy at all. Not easy at all. But like you said, the nights when you're killing, that's why. That's like your little hit of heroin.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can do it forever.
Same from a fan standpoint. Like you're saying, like people listen to music online. It's like I'll discover a new band or something on Spotify, and that's great. But it's such a different experience to like being there and being part of that energy is so different. And you're just like, I crave that all the time still.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss that as a performer because the connecting is what I do like communing. It gives another avenue for purpose to what you're making. Right? Like, okay, I created this song. Here's the words. It comes, like I could just put it out there and never hear. But when you play a show, you've got someone right in front of you, either connecting immediately, either to the music, words, you. It's very powerful.
Yeah. And seeing other people doing the same thing. So you're like, okay, I'm not a kook. Look at all these other kooks.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. And I think people, I mean, hopefully, that doesn't go away where they just think they can I'll just watch it on YouTube. Like, no, you gotta be there. You gotta kind of feel it and just kind of be around it. And, hopefully once this COVID thing goes away, there'll be more shows.
Yeah. This having COVID pandemic happen has been quite the loop, hasn't it? Just for everyone. What I found really astonishing or just huge was like, this has affected everyone, from the tiniest musician to the biggest musician, right? Like it's everyone. Everyone's feeling the clobber. And so even now, another level of the weird is, as the year and a half, 2 years goes on, it's not something that's going to like go away overnight. And so just the trying to start and the stopping and the try is really also exhausting and frustrating, and just brings up all the host of other things. It's quite the long road. So I will be like everyone else, extremely happy when it might be 2 years from now.
I know.
When something feels normal again.
Yeah. I caught it on my birthday, which was awesome.
You did?
Yeah. I mean, I think I caught a couple of days before that, but I finally went to urgent care because I thought I had like strep throat. And they're like, no, you got COVID.
Oh, no.
Like, oh, awesome.
No. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you're still here.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. My wife got it too. So we didn't have to go to the hospital. So we got lucky. We just basically slept for a week and a half.
Oh, my God. Had you been vaccinated?
No, not yet. We were going to get vaccinated like a week before that. And we were in the process because we we sold our house, moved into a rental before we bought this house. And so it was that in between thing where like, we should probably go get vaccinated. And then like the following week, we both get sick. So,
wow. Well, isn't that scary? Did you feel scared? Oh, man.
At that point I didn't, but since then there's been a couple people either my age or like 5 years older that have died from it. And that kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I was going to play a show last August and got exposed to COVID, and I mean, I was thinking, I was like, here I've been isolated in a house pretty much for a year and a half. And the one night I go out to a comedy show, no less.
It's no joke. Yeah.
It was no joke. It was a great show, though. It's Maria Bamford. I love her.
Oh, yeah. Maria's great. I've done shows with her.
You have? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I love her. Her and Jim Gaffigan. Well, currently.
Him too.
That's what what?
Yeah, Marie Bamford wouldn't remember me because I did one show I was like before the opener in LA at the factory. But Gaffigan and I did I got to open up for Gaffigan at Giggles back in 2005.
Did you get to meet him? Was he nice?
He was awesome. We're in the kitchen together, and he's he tells me this joke that's amazing. He's like, I don't know if it's funny or not. And I'm just giving him this.
Was it a Hot Pocket?
No, I wish. No, I can't remember what it was now, but it was hilarious. I'm like, of course it's hilarious.
You're like, no, it's terrible. I'll take it from you. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, it's terrible, Jim. Don't do that one. I'll go ahead and take it off. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, I go to sleep to either Maria Bamford or Jim Gaffigan at night.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I have their Audible, whatever, and it's on constant rotate. Yeah. Because I need a chuckle. Everybody, I need to laugh, man. But no, I had gone to her show. It was amazing. And then the woman I sat next to texted me the next day and was like, I hate to tell you, but I tested positive for COVID. And then I got ill. It freaked me out. Right. And it was a hard decision, like a decision I've never had to make. I canceled the show, or I backed out of the show, and they just, and so because one, I was scared. I didn't, but then you realize as a performer, or especially like a solo performer, and you have a band, how many people I felt responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, my band, I'm bringing them into the room, and then I'm going to be the person people come to gather, hopefully, to see.
Right.
I don't want to do that. And I also was like, I don't want to do a show where people being regulated at the door and you have to wear a mask and we got to bleed, like, that's not what I want to do. So that was weird, though. I've never had to do that. I've never had to, for that reason, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, potential illness, can't do it.
It's an unusual time, but it's probably the best choice you did.
You can't really sing with your mask on, so.
Yeah.
It's so gross. Well, they were like, oh, you don't wear a mask. I'm like, okay, so hold on. Like, it's just all this quandary of like, so I might carry it, bring it into the room. That's okay.
Scream and sing on the audience. Get down close to them.
Spitting. As I like to do. I love to spit. Yeah.
It's your style.
That just didn't seem right. It's still my style. I'm a lover, not a fighter, people. Well, I love that. Oh my God. We got to get more into your comedy conversation too. Because
it was funny because the weekend before, weekend after Gaffigan, I opened up for Daniel Tosh. And a completely different thing. I'm like, wasn't the night. I don't know if it wasn't the nicest person, but just like he was doing Daniel Tosh all the time.
Oh no.
It's like, we're not on stage. Can you not be a prick?
Yes.
You know?
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
It's like if you meet a musician that you love and you find out they're a dick. It's just the worst.
Funny thing, on Gene Simmons, I got to meet Gene Simmons.
What?
Wow.
Do you know Craig Gass?
No, I don't think so.
You know, he's fascinating dude. He's a comic, really funny comic, and he knows like everybody. Like does amazing impressions and super cool dude. But anyway, Kiss came to town 4 years ago to play Tri-Cities. It was 2016, and Craig came to town because he's friends with the guys, and he was going to do a show at the pub. And so he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, do you want?" And I got tickets to the show. I was like, "Do you want to go before the show and go to the meet and greet and just hang out?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
And so Gene Simmons was my guy like my whole life. And so I had all these cool stories I was going to tell him. Like, Gene and I are best friends. And because we have a mutual friend in LA, it's like, oh my God, we're just probably going to be texting and stuff. And so I finally get the chance to meet Gene. Super nice guy. And I just freeze. Like, I never get starstruck. I just kind of freeze. And he tells me a joke about Jesus and something else. And he signs my lanyard and takes a picture, just super cool. And then he just kind of walks away. And I'm like, no. I had stories. We were going to be friends.
We're going to be best friends. Wait.
Best friends.
Delayed reaction. So that looks really smooth, too, when you're like, ugh.
Hey, guy. So.
Oh, my God. That's awesome, though. Those are great stories.
Yeah.
I love those stories. I'm excited. Now, I have a feeling you have more films that are coming down the pike, maybe with these. Maybe you need to do a comedian behind the scenes thing. And you can take it.
That. And there's a couple other documentary ideas I've had after doing this and meeting people. And because I love to people watch, and I just find regular people fascinating as far as like when I did a show in, I think it was Bozeman, Montana, or somewhere in Montana. There was this table, super nice people. They laughed at all my stuff. And they talked to me after the show. I was like, hey, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, but we practice medieval century fighting or whatever. Nice. And I'm like, because I had to go. I had to go to the next town the next night or next day, but so I couldn't do it. I was like, God, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These people do battle in some park or whatever. So,
although I have heard people that use like real swords and real suits of armor, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to have any part of that. But
yeah, no.
That's a whole documentary. I want to see that.
Yeah.
LARPing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm like you. I love to people watch. Like I'm a watcher by nature. There's things I love about people. There's things I don't. Well, I'm excited for this to come out too, and we're going to put a link and spread the news around too about contributing, because it's a worthy cause, and it's
Cool.
a great. I think it's just a great example of a reminder of DIY and all of that. Plus, I'm always happy when other people succeed as well. Like your
Right.
friend, it makes it feel like things are possible. That's how I look at it.
And one last thing on this thing, I'm making sure that the way I cut it together, it's not just a inside story. Like you had to be in Tri-Cities to understand the story.
Yeah.
I want it to be a small town Indiana kid music scene. He relates to it, or over in Kentucky, she relates to it. It's more of a small town music scene story.
That's cool.
So. Absolutely. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, because that's true, right?
Yeah.
Like
we live so close to Seattle, so that's like, I'm sure people are interested. Like everybody knows Seattle, so what's going on over here. So
right, and just how exactly. I love that. I think that's needed in the world too.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, and I also can't wait to work on other videos with you. That's coming, people.
Yeah, I'm doing more music video. I had to stop music videos because otherwise I wasn't going to get this documentary done. So I've had people ask me, hey, let's do a music video. I was like, I can't. I gotta wait. I gotta wait till 2022 because otherwise, it's a good problem to have. Because otherwise, I won't finish this thing. So, but yeah, definitely, I have some ideas for some of your songs.
Ooh, can't wait. We'll put links to that. So Tony did the video for Ocean and for Wrestle It Out on Passage. And what I thought was cool about this, and I feel like we haven't completed the triptych either, is that we used one actress that you found. I mean, you put everything together, but I was like, I want a triptych and I want someone else to play the role of the person in this. I don't want to be in it, and so I just loved that idea, and I loved the video. So we'll put links to those because I want people to see those. They're really cool.
Yeah, they turned out pretty good. It's hard for me to gauge after when I edit it because I see it 1,000 times, so I get kind of blind to it. But I was watching them today. I was like, those turned out pretty good. I really
Well, and it's a fantasy of mine to have more videos because I'm a really visual person, but I don't know how to do what you do, and so it was really a pleasure to partner with someone. It's something I kind of always dream of, is having partners to help, get what's in your head out, but also. Partner with an artist so they can do what they do well. So that's always a pleasure for me. So I definitely would love to share that with people. And I love talking to you. I love talking to you about it. We should do this more often, right?
Yeah.
You will have to do, maybe you could dress up as your stepdad thing.
I could do that. That'll be my next campaign, Oh yeah. You can buy my stepdad book on Amazon.
That's right. Yeah. Tony does a whole stepdad thing. Go see, right? I love that as well.
Stepdad book. Yeah.
Yes. I just saw one of your jokes out there too, and I was like, yeah, correct.
Nice.
All right. Well, Tony, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Appreciate
I will talk to you soon, and we will spread the word.
Great.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Bye, hon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.